Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome to Candidly Speaking with Chelle and Kelle. I'm Kelle.
I'm Chelle. We are so glad that you're here because this is going to be an amazing, amazing show. I have been laughing with Steve for the last 15 minutes. He is cracking me up. So he's in rare form.
He's one of my faves.
Well, not
you know
rare
that,
form.
right?
He's what?
He's one of my faves. He's one of my faves.
He's adorable. He's adorable. So thanks for watching. If you could let us know that you're here, we would love to hear from you. Please interact with us if you're watching live. If you're watching the replay, please put that in the comments with hashtag replay. So Kelly, you've been out in the sun, girl.
Well, we had the saga of my pool last week, or last time we were live. I don't even remember anymore. And they had me buy so many tools and equipment. And bottom line, I just got in the pool today and dug out the leaves. I mean, because nothing sucked them up. It looked like a bunch of dead bodies on the bottom of my pool. I was praying that there wasn't, because I thought, oh, that would be bad. But no, there were no dead bodies, just thick. I was in there hours today. And my arm, I think I've got
without sunscreen.
No, I used 45, but I still got a. It'll be fine tomorrow, though. Don't worry. But yeah, the pool, I think it will be swimmable, not tomorrow, but the next day. So,
well, good.
Yeah, so anybody who's nearby, it'll be ready in a couple days, just so you know. So we should probably thank our sponsors, huh?
We have
Blue Sky Video Productions, our buddy, our pal, Bruce Himmelblau. He is our YouTube strategist, and he's the man behind the scenes. And we are so grateful for him. Aren't we grateful for him? I'm grateful for him.
We are. Did I do it right?
You did it. You did it.
I did it right. I never do it right. We
are.
There's
Max. Max is our sponsor, our loud noise sponsor. Sorry about that. CottonFeelsGood.com. Ronnie Goodwin. He's our sponsor. Goodwin Graphics. He's our t-shirt sponsor. So if you are lucky enough to be a part of our show, you actually get a really cool t-shirt that thanks you for being on our show. And then finally, there's Cards That Wow. That's me. I create wow moments for people and brands by making handmade note cards and corporate gifts. I'm so sorry. I don't know what he's barking at.
That's okay. Max has things to say. His voice needs to be heard. It's okay.
I'm going to let you introduce Steve, and I'm going to go put a muzzle on him.
Okay. Y'all, we are so excited. And I know I say that frequently, but I'm super stoked to have Steve here tonight. He is a Hall of Fame speaker, one of only 200 since I don't know, the world began or something. It's a big deal to be a Hall of Fame speaker. He is an attitude adjuster. We'll talk more about that later. He motivates audiences to achieve success. How cool is that? He's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. You may have seen him on his Showtime special back in the day. And he is an author. He's written Motivate This. He's written Get Your Shift Together. Really, really great guy. And we are so honored to have him with us tonight. He is coming to us from Bayshore, New York. Please help us welcome Steve Rizzo.
Love that tune. Do you like our music?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It sounds like one of those old, 60s commercials that you would see on TV.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It reminds me of Marv Griffin or something. Yes. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Or Mike Douglas, the Mike Douglas show.
Exactly.
Now we've just dated ourselves, everybody.
Thanks for having me on the show. I'm happy to be here, and it's about time. That's all I have to say.
We love you.
I can't help it. I'm a busy guy.
I know.
You're in demand.
I was too busy booking you on all those other shows. I forgot about ours.
That's right. It's because you I am on all the other shows. Wow. No.
Oh, so where do we start?
Beginning is really good.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
What
Steve.
You got, Steve?
Well,
let's talk about Conversations with Bob and how
my new book
it was created.
Yep. Yeah, Conversation with Bob, and it's a book that took me oh, 7 years, 8 years to write. I started writing it at the very, very lowest point of my life, and trust me when I say I've had quite a few low points, but this was the lowest. It was after a 34-year a divorce after 34 years, which was my decision, which made it even worse. And uh, I took off, moved from Long Island, and woke up one morning and said, I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to go to California. And she said, what? And I couldn't even believe I said that because it was just something that came to my head. I said, yeah, for some reason, I know I need to be there. I need to take care of the shit that's going on in my head. And within a couple of weeks, I moved. I rented an apartment on Marina Del Rey. And I one morning, it was 4:30 in the morning. I was walking on Venice Beach, and I lost it. I knew I had to face my demons and all the stuff that was going through my head at that time. And I remember I was yelling at God, and I was saying, "Why aren't you answering my prayers?" And then I said, "What the hell is wrong with me? And what am I doing here?" And I took another step, and I heard something within me say, "You know why you're here, and you know what's wrong. You're just too caught up in your own drama to find the answer." And I went, "What? Where the hell did that come from?" But I knew something was happening. So I got into my car. I drove to my apartment in Marina Del Rey, and I opened up my laptop. I took out a pad and a pen, and for like 5 or 6 hours, I asked another question, then another answer, and another question, and then another answer came. And I realized I was talking to the God part of myself, a higher part of myself. And I kept writing, and it wasn't until maybe the fourth day of as I was writing a book, and it took 7 years for the book to be finished. Every time I thought, by the way, it's called Conversations with Bob, but Bob is God, and how he gets the name Bob, you'll have to read the book to find out. And it just came out a few weeks ago, and it's doing very well on Amazon. It's 5 stars. The reviews I have now are off the charts, and it's to me, it's the reason why I was put on this planet. And it's between two characters, Bob and Bernie. Bob is of your higher nature, who has the answers to all of your questions and solutions to all of your problems. And Bernie lives in the negative zone, and he represents every single person on this planet, regardless of race, religion, social status, gender. It doesn't matter. Everyone has crap to deal with, and everyone has negative emotions throughout various stages of their lives. But Bob is the voice that you need to listen to. And you have a choice in your whole life. You can either listen to your inner Bernie or your inner Bob. And the scary thing is that your inner Bernie is much louder than your inner Bob, but your inner Bob is more powerful when you learn how to tap into that part of you. And this book shows you how to tap into your higher nature. So you could not necessarily solve the problems in your life, but what Bob does more than anything else is that Bob helps you to work your way through the problem. Won't make the
I
problem
felt
go away.
I
Excuse me.
felt like it gives you tools to
He
solve,
gives
like to
common
work on
sense
problems.
strategies, is what Bob calls.
Yeah,
Bob
yeah.
gives Bernie common sense success strategies and shifting habits, how to turn his life around. And when they first meet, Bernie, I'm going to delve into this a little bit more than I usually do, but Bernie really is in the negative zone. He's in his mid 50s, and everything he tried in his life, everything, never worked. And he's very bitter, and he's in this shabby hotel. It's the same hotel as usual hotels, and he had a bad day. His presentation didn't go as well as he wanted it to go because the internet wasn't working properly. So he kind of like had to milk it, and he was pissed off that he had to milk it. And he goes into this hotel room and he's complaining about his entire life and reliving that negative loop on all the things that never worked for him. He was divorced twice, and he goes to go to sleep. He has a glass of wine. He finishes it, and he feels a sharp pain in his chest, and he knows he's having a heart attack. and he dials 0 on the hotel phone, and the scene changes. He's taken into a hospital, and they put a blanket over his head, and he thinks he's dead, and his spirit rises, and he winds up in this place that he thinks is heaven, which is where he meets Bob. And he finally realizes at the beginning that Bob is God. And they're having this conversation. And Bob is very funny, by the way, in this book. He's
yes.
Oh no, he's like hysterical. And there's a point at the beginning where Bernie breaks down and says, "You didn't answer my prayers. I tried everything to succeed. Do you have any idea what it's like to know that you have the talent to achieve something and to watch your friends in your inner circle achieve everything that you want, but you know you're never going to get it? And you never answered my prayers." And Bob listens, takes a deep breath and said, "I did answer your prayers, but you pray with the same woe is me negative attitude that you have about your life and your business and every aspect of your life." And he goes, "What do you expect, Bernie? A miracle?" And he goes, "Yeah, isn't that what you're supposed to do, create miracles?" So Bob goes, and this is the core of the whole book. Bob goes, "Bernie, have you ever heard the saying, God helps those who help themselves?" And Bernie says, "Yeah." And Bob goes, "Do you have any idea what that means?" And he goes, "No, I never really thought about it." He goes, "It means that you have to meet me halfway. I could only do for you what you're willing to do for yourself. I could plant the seed possibility for a prayer to be manifested into the desire that you want, but you have to work in accordance. You have to create that mindset that will help me to help you." He goes, "But you pray." And he goes, "I'll give you an example. I've seen you. You pray for a very easy day and a peaceful day. And yet, what's the first thing that you do? You get in your car and you start cursing at everybody in traffic. And yet you expect me to do for you what you're not willing to do for yourself." So it's a double standard. It's a thing. Bob or God can only do for you what you're willing to do for yourself. And the most important thing is Bob tells Bernie throughout the whole book, you have to believe. You have to believe that when you pray, the prayer is going to be answered. Your mindset during prayer is crucial. Before, during, and after. You have to believe that it's going to happen. Not when you think it's going to happen, or not when how you think it's going to happen, but when it happens. Bob says, when I think you're ready for it to happen. And you have to meet me halfway. You have to do your part the whole way. Because when you don't, you go up 2 steps and you wind up pulling yourself back 5 steps. And that's why you're always playing catch up. And that's basically what the book is about. So Bob gives Bernie throughout the whole book, there's 16 chapters. There are 4 chapters, 4 parts to this book. And each part has 4 chapters, which is 16 chapters. And each chapter ends with Bob's high points to remember. So you could use this book as a companion or a guide after you've read it from cover to cover. And you can put it at your nightstand before you go to sleep. If you want to go to sleep with a good frame of mind, read a couple of paragraphs, go back to sleep, wake up the next morning before you take the covers off. Maybe you just want to go through the high points to remember, to get you in that mindset to start your day with an unstoppable attitude to succeed. But Bob always makes it clear to Bernie and to everyone else listening that you are the creator of your success and happiness. You're the only problem that you will ever have. And somewhere within you, there is always a solution waiting to be discovered. You just have to learn how to be still and to allow the solution to reveal itself.
I love that you can read it any chapter at any time.
Yeah, you can.
You don't have to read it like page 1 to page.
No, you don't. That's the beauty of the book. That's why it was strategically planned. And that wasn't my idea. That was Bob's idea. Mm. Every time I thought this book was finished, Bob said no, which is why it took me 7 years, 8 years to write. Because Bob said, you're not through learning stuff. And I said, how much crap do I have to learn? and he said, until I think you're ready. And he let me know. And even when it was ready and I brought it to the publisher, Bob said, stop. You need to break it into 4 parts, and each part has to have 4 chapters. And it was amazing when he told me that, because when I broke all 4 chapters into 4 parts, I realized that every part had its own message. there was like 3 messages in each part that was absolutely, it's broken down strategically. And I didn't even know I was writing it that way. So anyway,
Wow. That's very profound, Steve.
it
I have not read the book. I'm looking forward to that. Wow.
It's just, it's what I was put on this planet to do. I know it for a fact.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because people go through their whole lives and they're always asking themselves, why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? Why is this happening to me now? Why is this happening again? And sometimes the answer to that doesn't come until many years later. I'm 70 years old now, and all the crap that I asked questions about, why this and why that, I'm finally starting to realize at the closing last years, I think I'm going to live another 20 or 30 years. I really think that. If I don't, that's fine, but I think I am. But it's towards the end where, if you're aware, you could look back on your life and you go, all the things that I questioned, I'm saying, oh my God, or oh my Bob. Now I realize why I went through that. Because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have met this person. Or if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have learned this. And if I didn't go through all of that shit that I went through in my life, I wouldn't be in a position now where I could help people to turn their lives around from what I experienced and what I went through. So the answers come to you, but in Bob's time. And that's what a lot of people have a hard time with, because everybody wants quick fixes, especially today with technology. I mean, look how many times you got to go and you go to type something, or you want to text someone and it's taking too long, and you get frustrated with that. You want it to happen immediately. And life isn't like that. Life isn't like that. Life is based on the time that is allotted according to Bob. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen. And if you don't learn the lessons along the way, every step there's a lesson, you're going to have to learn it over and over and over again until you learn it. And I've always learned things the hard way. Everything I know now. And I believe I know a significant amount. But here's the thing. If I didn't learn it the hard way, I wouldn't be in a position where I can help people to learn it easier. And that's my mission in life, is to show people the strategies that are within this book, this very simple book that is so easy to read. And you know what? When you take the cover off, this was strategically planned by Bob too. That's what it looks like. This book is a companion. It's made for your comfort. It's made for you to keep with you anywhere you want. And I suggest putting it at your nightstand, because, it's at night where shit goes through your head while you're dreaming. But if you go to bed with a healthy mindset, just by reading maybe a couple of paragraphs or the high points to remember, and you do the same thing when you wake up in the morning, people wake up in the morning and they say to themselves, they think of all the stuff that has to be done. Why are you doing that to yourself? Before you take the covers off, say to yourself, who do I have to be in order to get this stuff done? And then allow yourself to create the mindset that is needed to get through the day. And that's where reading this book can help you tremendously. And it doesn't matter. You can flip through it at any point. Look, here I am flipping through it. And look what I went to. I went to this page. I could read any one of these paragraphs, and I know I will learn something from these 2 paragraphs. And I'd like you to see, keep that close image. This is what every chapter looks like. It's taken on a beach. Every chapter is taken on a photo of the beach, because that's where I met Bob, on the beach. So, I'm tired. That was exhausting. I got to take a nap.
So Steve, you are the attitude adjuster. So is this the first step in adjusting our attitude?
Well, I've written other books on attitude. I've written Motivate This and Get Your Shit Together, as you said at the beginning, Michelle. But this book takes this to a whole new level, because now God is involved. Because now Bob is involved, that higher part of you. And like I said, your inner Bernie is loud. Bernie, in the book, Bernie always listened to the big mouth inside his head. Some people call the big mouth your ego. Some people call it the devil, which is maybe a little melodramatic, but if you do listen to it, there will be hell to pay. The big mouth is very loud. That's the part of you, and I know you've guys gone through this. You're in a similar business as I'm in, and you have plans to do something, and you're so psyched, and you believe in it, and you know it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden, maybe 3 weeks into it, you hit a major snag. And what's the first thing a lot of people do when they hit that snag? I knew it. Now, this is the big mouth talking. I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. Every time I try to do something, it never works. I always go 2 steps up and 3 steps back. Everybody else has what I want. When am I going to get the respect and appreciation and success that I deserve? This is negative self-talk. That's what most people call it. In the book, it's called self-curse talk.
Curse talk.
Because you're casting a spell on your life. And when you start talking like that, you're losing your connection to Bob. Because you're listening to the big mouth inside your head. And that's why you're going back 4 steps. Yeah, you went up 2, but you squashed the seed possibility for a prayer that was very close to being answered. But you squashed it with that negative inertia. And it's part of the human condition. And Bob, there's even a point, there's a chapter in there where Bernie says, well, you got to understand, Bob, you created me. I am human. I am human. And then Bob goes, that's the biggest mistake that humans have made on this planet. And Bernie goes, what do you mean? He goes, you're more than human. You are a part of me. You're a part of who I am. There is a God part of you within you that you don't even know exists. And I'm here to tell you how to connect to that part of you so that you can create miracles in your life. He goes, miracles? He goes, listen, I'm Bernie. I'm not Harry Potter. He goes, yeah, but you can create miracles. And you have a magic wand of sorts. And he goes, what do you mean I have a magic wand? He goes, your thoughts are your wand. Your mind is your wand, and your thoughts are what emanate and creates the power that you need to create what you want. And he goes on to that whole process, telling him how powerful his thoughts are.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Uh-oh.
And I've actually asked this to several of our guests on the show. It seems to be has been kind of a theme. What are your thoughts on, and Kellen probably knows what I'm going to ask, what are your thoughts on The Secret? What do you think about the law of attraction? Is that a bunch of hooey? Is that spot on?
This whole book, Conversations with Bob, what a brilliant question. This whole book is based on the law of attraction. It's in chapter 3 where Bob says, chapter 3 is called The Law. And he says, it's the greatest law that I've ever created. It's so powerful. He goes, but you have to live in accordance to the law because it doesn't show favorites. It doesn't know good from bad. It doesn't know right from wrong, fair or unfair. It only knows what you program into it. He says, you create with your thoughts. What you think is what you get. This is how the law of attraction is. If you think you're not worthy, not good enough, or smart enough, you will go through life knowing that you're not worthy, not smart enough, or good enough.
And
I highlight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kellen.
I actually highlighted part of the book. It says, Bob says, I know you've been Bernie, but most people are skeptical. Trust me here. It takes continuous series of high-powered thoughts, feelings, emotions, and intention over time to attract the things that you want to manifest in your life.
Perfect.
That's what you said.
Perfect. I didn't say it. Bob did, but thank you.
Bob said it.
No, you're right. That's what it's about. It's a continuous repetition. And Bob keeps going back to Bernie. What did I say about your thoughts? Bernie goes, right, you're right, you're right. There's even a point in the book where Bernie starts saying, Bob reminds Bernie, goes, you were just talking about that you were broke. And he goes, well, I am. He said, I'd have, if I wanted the steak dinner right now, I'd have to put it on layaway. He goes, but Bernie, you may not have the money that you want now, but when you are proclaiming to the universe, to my energy field, to me, that you're broke, you're sending a message that's the way you are, and that's the way you will always be. You can't proclaim that you're broke and expect to be prosperous because you're giving thoughts of being broke. Mm-hmm. And Bob explains explicitly that the thoughts that you have about anything in your life over a consistent period of time will create the beliefs that you have. Your thoughts always create your beliefs. Your beliefs write the story of your life.
Mhm.
Those thoughts and beliefs will create the way that you feel on any particular day. Those feelings will create the attitude that you have on any given day. So if you're waking up in the morning thinking that you're getting screwed again, that you're not making enough money, that you hate your job, and everyone else is against you, those thoughts over a very short period of time will create a belief system
Mhm.
that your life is not working.
Mhm.
And when you wake up in the morning, those beliefs are going to create the way that you feel. How do you think you're going to feel if you're not feeling good about yourself? You're going to feel like shit. How much stuff can you get done feeling like crap? And those feelings create the attitude that you have. And that whole process, those thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and attitude will lead to the particular actions that you take. The actions that you take always lead you to an outcome. And that is what determines those who are successful and happy from those who are unsuccessful and miserable. And I'm not making light of any situation because I know some people are experiencing incredible crap right now.
Mhm.
But I also know, and I've been blessed to meet people throughout my entire life, famous people who have overcome insurmountable odds, but turned their lives around and did something with their lives, something that falls nothing short of miraculous.
Mhm.
Because what is a miracle? Nothing but a shift in perception. It's looking at something where at some point you're going, oh my God, I can't handle this. I'm paralyzed. My whole body's paralyzed. I just got into this accident. My legs, my hips, I can't move my arms. I'm paralyzed. And with a slight shift in the way that you're thinking over a period of time, that impossibility can suddenly become very possible. And you can maybe not do what you thought you were going to do with your life, but you could find something that you could hold on to so that you can live a life that you didn't even think existed. And perhaps you can be a catalyst that can help other people along the way. And I've met my brother Michael's a perfect example, who's 100% disabled as a result of the Vietnam War. He's the only man. I think you both heard me say this story.
Yeah. Can you share that? Do you mind sharing
I
that
love
story?
that story. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say the whole story, but I can tell you, I just had dinner with him just before I got on the show. And he's he's on kidney dialysis now for the rest of his life. But his attitude is unbelievable. He's the only man in medical history that ever survived that kind of wound. He's in medical journals as someone who beat the odds. 21 feet of his small intestine were either blown out on the battlefield or taken out on the operating table. His kidneys were damaged, and you name it. And they only gave him about a month to live, and he's still alive. And he went from 168 pounds to 94 pounds. He gained more weight since then. He's like 150 now. And when he got out, this is 1969. He said he was going to go to college, and we didn't think he'd be able to do it. Not even us. Well, we even believed in him, but we figured it would be demoralizing because he wouldn't be able to handle it because of his condition. He graduated with high honors, and he went back to the same school that he graduated from. He became a history teacher, an attendance officer, system principal. And then when he wanted to retire, they made him superintendent of the entire school system. And uh, it's just, did he have problems physically? Yeah, absolutely. But he kept focusing on what was working rather than fixating on what wasn't working. And what was working became his belief system. And that caused him to feel victorious. And that gave him that unstoppable attitude to succeed. And that led to the actions that he took. And that led to a particular outcome. You get that? He did that on his own. He met God, and he didn't even know. This is how the law of attraction works, Michelle and Kellen. He didn't even know he was connecting to God by doing that. The law of attraction doesn't say you're now connected to God. It's just the law that God gave. And if you're working in accordance with it, you might not even know you're connecting to God, but yet that's what he did. I had to explain that to him. He goes, I'm not a religious person. I'm not spiritual, but you lived in accordance with the law.
Right.
You lived in accordance with the law. Doctors were telling you weren't going to live long enough. You gave them the middle finger right in front of me and told you, excuse my language, but fuck you. Don't you tell me I'm not going to live. I'm going to be what I want to be. And I may not be the person I thought I was going to be, but there's something within me that can meet this challenge head on. And I'm going to do it. Was it easy? It was incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
But he did it. And those thoughts that he insisted, not other people's thoughts, his thoughts, created this incredible, empowering belief system. Those beliefs, again, caused him to feel victorious, confident, courageous. And every step he took was another notch on his victory belt, you see? And then those feelings led to this attitude like, whoa, I can do this. And finally, he accomplished more than anyone ever more he thought he can do, because he was connected to the law of attraction. What you think is what you get. What you say out loud is what you ask for. This is what separated him from everyone else that was in that hospital. And I'm not passing judgment. I know these guys had their own pain to deal with. And I understand that some of them couldn't deal with what they were going through. I get it. But that my brother never said, why me? He never said that. That's what everyone else. And isn't that what we always do when your life isn't working?
Yep.
When you're not having the relationships that you want, when you're not having the career that you want. First, why me? Why is this happening to me? Soon as you do that, you're opening up the door to the negative zone. It's the law of attraction in action. You're opening the door to the negative zone, and you're allowing yourself to enter. And you're allowing more like thoughts and words to come into play. I know I'm repetitious here, but those thoughts and words will solidify an already negative belief system. You don't believe in life. You don't believe in yourself. Where in God's name do you think you're going to go if you don't? Those thoughts and beliefs will cause a feeling that you have. And it's all about how you feel, because that's how the law of attraction works. If you're really feeling energized and you're visualizing the life that you want, even though it hasn't manifested yet, the law of attraction is going, this is what he wants, this is what he's going to get. And if you keep feeling that way, it'll come to you. I'll give you another example in this book. And it's the chapter called The Law, where Bernie says to Bob, and I spoke to this person about this, and it is a true story. I heard him tell this story on Oprah. This story always blows me away. This is how powerful the law of attraction is, and how you can, without any deterrent, if you focus 100% optimism that way. I know it is not easy, but it can be done. Jim Carrey was on Oprah, and he said to him, is it true that you used to visualize how your life was going to be? And he said, yes, when he lived in California, he would drive every night to Mulholland Drive by himself. He'd look up at the stars. There's a big hill that he would look right over Los Angeles. And he would visualize how he wanted his life to go. And he would say these things about how he knew his life was going to be. Not, I hope it's going to be that way. Maybe it's going to be that way, or possibly. Those words can be pretty devastating, because no matter how you use those words, it's insinuating there might be doubt somehow, some way. Mm-hmm. If you tell someone, hopefully I'll get to where I want to go, that means you're not too confident, because you're saying there's a chance that it might not work. Okay. So he was so filled with this law of attraction thing that he was guiding in this thought process and belief, that one day he had a blank check. He wrote a check to himself for $10 million for services rendered in his field. He knew at some point, some way, somehow, he was going to make $10,000 within 10 years. He did this, folded it up on Thanksgiving Day, put it in his wallet. Same wallet that he used for 20 some odd years. 10 years later, he got a phone call from his manager telling him that he's going to get $10 million. This was on Thanksgiving Day, 10 years later, right? So he put it in his wallet on Thanksgiving Day. 10 years later, on Thanksgiving Day, his manager called him and said, you're getting $10 million for playing the role of Dumb and Dumber. He took it out and he said, tears just poured down his face.
That's
That's
amazing.
how the law of attraction works. I know this sounds Pollyanna-ish, and I know there were some people listening and going, it's easier said than done. Well, let me tell you something, my friends. Everything in life is easier said than done, but that doesn't mean it can't be done. And I know it's difficult, more difficult for some people, more difficult for some than others. I know it. I know that.
But to your point, Steve, you do have to have the right mindset. You do
Oh,
have
yeah.
to the right attitude, but you do, the whole meeting halfway. You have to put some legs to your attitude. You have got to take action, not
And
just sit there and think about it while
oh,
munch
absolutely, Michelle,
on
100%. But the another key, though, Michelle, is that you have to be aware when you're entering into the negative zone, when the big mouth inside your head, when your inner Bernie is controlling you. Most people aren't aware that they're doing it. Some people get so caught up that their life sucks
They've done
that
it so
even when
long.
they become aware, they can't get out of that zone. So what I
They just
suggest
wallow.
is let it out, let it go, let it take its course. Let it's, Kellen, I don't want to be personal right
No, I
now.
was just gonna say I
You
was
and I
in
were
that
talking
spot.
about, right? You and I were talking about something that you were going through just a few days ago. And,
Mhm.
and I'm not boasting, but I said to you, feel it, let it go, let it out. It will turn around if you believe that it will.
And
Now
then
that
I
you're
read the
aware,
book again.
now
I
that
did.
you're
I read
aware
it
that it's
again.
happening to you, I said, now it's time for you to shift your focus and way of thinking, not to what has happened, but
Right.
what can happen.
Right.
And what happened? It worked.
It did no, and I did. It made me read the book again, and I got something new out of it. And
Yeah.
it's. I'm grateful to have you as a friend that I can see, because not everybody can just wait. Can I give everybody your phone number if they need to talk to you?
Give him my email address, not my
Okay.
phone number.
Wait. Oh, so Christy hasn't been here for a while, and she says she made a comment earlier. She says another thing. I haven't been able to listen to this podcast in quite a while, but something led me to see this tonight. I really needed it. All of you are doing good work. So thank you, Christy.
Chrissy, let me tell you something. Always, 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 always go with that impulse. Always go with that impulse. I learned that the hard way because that impulse is coming from the Bob part of you. It's definitely coming from the Bob part of you. And when you say, oh, forget it, and you don't do it, you missed out on something.
Yep.
You know what's funny, Christy? We pray for answers to the prayers. That very well could have been an answer to your prayer. Have you ignored it, you would have squashed the seed possibility for that prayer to take root.
Yep.
Because you didn't acknowledge that higher part of you. Remember that higher part is silent, but it's powerful. The big mouth inside your head, your inner Bernie, is very loud and it usually controls you. And that's the one you usually listen to. You can't. You can't allow that. You almost have to say to Bernie, screw you. As a matter of fact, there's a part towards the end of this book where Bob tells Bernie how to put the big mouth in its place and to have fun doing it, to use your humor being, to just have fun with this big mouth, turn into this character that will not allow this part of you to take control of you. And Bob tells Bernie at the beginning of the book, I'm going to be teaching you common sense strategies, success strategies that will take you to a better place personally and professionally. And he tells Bernie, these things are not to be taken lightly. These strategies, you're born with them. It's innate. We're born. God gave us these strategies. It's just that we get so caught up in the shit of life that consumes us most of the time that we're not aware that we have this part of us that we can tap into. And the more you do tap into it, the more it becomes a part of who you are, and the more in control you are of your life rather than having life control you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, Steve,
Hmm?
talk a little bit, if you will, about the importance of joy in your.
Wow. That's a big part of the book, too. As a matter of fact, there's a chapter called Enjoy the Process. Um, Bob explains to Bernie, especially in this country, um, Enjoyment is something that most people have a difficult time doing, especially, I shouldn't even say that, personally and professionally. We have a mindset, and I will say, especially in this point, we have a mindset in this country that signifies I won't be happy until I achieve the goal.
Mm.
I won't be happy until I reach a certain status in life. And when you do that, you're putting your happiness on hold because you're saying to yourself that happiness is dependent upon something that has to take place at some point in the future.
Yeah.
And that's insane because it'll never happen because happiness will always be steps ahead of you. The
Right.
time to enjoy yourself is in the now, in the moment of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Whether you're cleaning the garage, you're taking the dogs for a walk, you're helping your children, you're helping a neighbor, you're going food shopping, or you're at work trying to kick it up a couple of notches. It's your right to enjoy yourself. But most people, especially high achievers, put that part of themselves on hold. And why would you want to do that to yourself? Why would you want to wait for something to happen for you to be happy? How many people do you know? And Kellen, you did this at one point, and we talked about it when you were moving from California to your new home. You actually said to me, "I'll be happy when I finally get everything organized." And I'm like, "Why aren't you enjoying the process now? Why wouldn't you want to enjoy you're moving from the place that you don't want to be anymore to a place where you think is gorgeous and you want to be, but you're saying to yourself that you want everything in place so that you can finally enjoy yourself. No, it's putting everything in place is where the fucking fun is.
And that's what I did. That's what I did. I started unpacking my boxes like it was Christmas.
That's exactly. I remember you said that. And
Yeah.
and that's what we need to do. And we have to catch ourselves when we say these things to ourselves. Because when you say it, I'll be happy when this happens. All right, I got to explain this to you. This was such a great question, Michelle. Your subconscious runs 97% of your life. Okay? 97% of your life. And your subconscious does not know the difference between true, false, right, wrong, fair, or unfair. It only knows the information that you program into it.
Mm-hmm.
And your subconscious, I really want you to get this part, is the genie of your soul. Look at your subconscious as the genie of your soul. So if you're telling yourself that you won't be happy until you reach a certain status in life, the genie of your soul is saying, okay, your wish is my command. I could wait that long. And it will take you that long until you think you're going to be happy. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you an example. People do this all the time. It's Monday. It's a hectic day. And you know you're going to have to go through the whole week because there's a lot of pressure on, a lot of changes taking place. And you start saying to yourself, and you said, Bob is my co-pilot. I can't believe you have that mug. I love it. I can't believe you have that. Send me one of those. How the hell did you get it? Oh my God. I need that mug.
I forgot to get it at the beginning of the show. I was going to just sneak it in.
Where'd you get that from?
Probably Buc-ee's, her favorite place on earth.
No, this is my Buc-ee's.
Okay.
This is
That
from
was from
our
Goodwin?
sponsor, Goodwin Graphics.
I'm going to have that. I'm going to get them made. Okay. All right. So follow me. You're amazing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. So let's just say somebody on a particular day on a Monday is going through a real tough time. And they're going through the entire day saying, oh man, I can't believe it. It's only Monday. This is ridiculous. I'm not getting the respect and appreciation that I deserve. Too much work is being put on my head. I'll tell you what, I can't wait till the weekend gets here because I know Tuesday is going to be the same. Wednesday is going to be the same. Thursday and Friday. When the weekend gets here, that's when I'm going to enjoy myself. And I'm not going to enjoy myself 1 minute sooner. That's it. Okay. So you're putting your happiness on hold by doing that. Now, some of you may be saying, well, okay, Steve, so if the weekend comes, maybe then I can still enjoy myself. No, not necessarily. Chances are you won't, and here's why. Because you've created that mindset already. And folks, please listen to me. That mindset stays with you. So even when the weekend is over, your subconscious is going to look for something else that's going to keep you from enjoying yourself. So now you're there on the weekend, and now you're saying, okay, now it's time for me to relax. And now you're saying to yourself, oh man, if the kids can just get the hell out of this house for 3 hours, maybe I can have some peace and quiet and enjoy myself. If I could just have time to myself without the leaf blowers outside and the lawnmowers going and all this, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, I can't find peace of mind. You see, the mindset stays with you. You're always going to find something that's going to keep you from enjoying your life. And you're putting your happiness on hold.
It all ties in together. I don't deserve this yet. This is
Right.
yeah.
And that's what Bob means when he says it's a simple stuff. It's common sensic strategies. You have success strategy. You have to be aware of what you're doing to yourself. So then you say to yourself, okay, it's Monday. This job is pissing me off. I'm having a tough time, but you know what? I'm good at what I do. I can do this. There's something within me that can meet this challenge head on. What can I do to make this easier? What can I do to ease the minds of everyone that's working with me on this? Maybe if we got together as a group and said, what can we do as a team to help each other do this? Or what can I focus on that's going to make me feel a little better? Or whatever it may be. There are tons of things you could say to yourself. And when you ask yourself, what if, which is such an empowering question, allow the Bob part of you to give you the answer, because it'll come in the most ridiculous ways, but it'll come. I have a mug with Steve.
Shirtless on a horse.
Shirtless. It's Eric.
Of course it's Eric.
Hey, Eric, I have a photo of me naked on a horse. Oh, and I don't want to brag, but the horse is jealous.
You too. You too.
I know, Michelle, I know you haven't noticed this, but we have a very special person watching us. Ruby Doo is watching us. So we need to say hi.
She is.
Hey, Ruby Doo.
Who's Ruby?
Ruby is Eric's daughter.
Eric's daughter. His youngest.
Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby Doo.
Well, that's
Ruby
right,
Doo.
Ruby. I love Ruby because he's always talking about her, and she's gorgeous too.
Yep.
She is.
So hello, Ruby.
Love you, Eric.
Yeah.
He's a man. Eric Bam Man.
He's the man.
You know, we have quite a few people
Missy Lavelle.
we've skipped over. Like,
No, get the people in there. Get the comments up now.
that's what I'm saying. Randy was here. I don't know if he's
Let's
still
acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge Randy.
I can't see them.
Let me see. Yeah, he said, "Hey."
Oh,
Kind of quick.
Good to have you, Randy. Thanks for joining.
This is the one I was looking for. I love this. My only issue is that my old image of Bob is now Steve Rizzo. And then we got Eric.
That's pretty funny.
Well,
you know what, Randy? I don't want to brag. Bob's going, don't push it, Steve. Bob just told me, don't push it, Steve. Remember the Old Testament, lightning. Remember that.
And then our lovely friend Missy Lovell is here. She said this. She says hello to everybody.
Yeah, Missy's great.
Yeah, this has been fun. I love this.
But you know what, Kellen, and you've introduced me to so many people that have helped me with my career. It's amazing. You really have.
That's what friends are for.
Eric and Missy and God, they're just so.
And Ken Walls.
Ken Wall, yeah.
Kelly knows people. She does.
And I get mugs.
Yeah.
I got to get those mugs. I'm gonna have
Isn't this
to. Great?
Them.
Yeah. I love
So
that.
I have one more kind of important question, and then we'll lighten things up a bit.
Next thing.
But you've indicated, Steve, that this book, writing this is why you think you were put here.
Yeah.
This was your purpose. So what would you say to the person who's watching who says, how do I find my true purpose? How do I find my passion? For those who are struggling and reaching and just not, maybe still wallowing in that self-doubt, what would you say to that person?
Spend significant time by yourself, usually in the morning.
In a hammock.
If you whatever it is. I mean, by yourself, without your phone, without anything.
Mm-hmm.
Pray. Ask what it is that you want. Be specific. Even if you messed up, say I messed up, but I know I have something to contribute, or I might not know what that is, but there's something in here. What could alleviate this feeling of worthlessness? Whatever it is, I'm trying to bring in all variables here, Michelle. But if you ask in chapter 12 and 13, chapter 12 is called Believe. Chapter 13 is called The Formula, where Bob explains to Bernie how to pray and why most prayers aren't answered by people, because it's all about mindset. The mindset before prayer, the mindset during prayer, and the mindset after prayer. Most people go into prayer with a mindset that it's not going to be answered anyway, because they just don't believe in God, period. Or if they do, God just answers prayers to other people and not me. That's their mindset. So you have to have the mindset all the way through. And then when the prayer is over, the mindset has to stay. And the prayer has to be answered. It will be answered in Bob's time.
Which isn't always in our time.
No, it's very rarely in
rarely.
your time. And
Very
the thing that keeps it out of your time is your negative inertia, because some people go in with the utmost positivity and optimism. Yeah, the energy's there, I'm doing it. All of a sudden, 2 weeks go by and they go, you actually hear, even if you say it unconsciously on a subconscious level, oh, here we go. Another prayer not answered.
I knew it.
I knew it wasn't going to be answered. Here we
I knew
go.
it.
Everybody else has what I want, but not me. I'm always going to wind up. It figures. You know what? You do what you have to do. You're not there. I don't believe in you anyway. Whatever it is that you say, and there you go, back to square one all over.
Start all over.
Remember, the law of attraction does not show favorites. It doesn't know how, it doesn't care what good of a person you are. It doesn't know right from wrong, good from bad, fair or unfair. It only knows the information you program into it. And I do believe in what I call, what most people call saving grace, where you could be the greatest person in the world, but you're just having a tough time with it. I do believe that in time, when you do catch on, that shit that you asked for and you finally get it will all come to you all of a sudden, which is what's happening to me now in my life. I'm 70 years old, and now all of a sudden the stuff that I've been asking for and wasn't coming, and I made it worse by claiming I knew it wasn't going to happen. It's all coming to me now because I get it. I get it.
So, do we want to do a little?
Did that answer that question, Michelle? Was that?
Yes. Yes, you did perfectly. Thank you.
Let's talk about. Hey, I'm talking here.
Oh, good, Eric. Yes. Hey, I'm talking here. There it is. That's my show. Eric and I. Eric is my co-host. And by the way, Kellen had a big part of me creating this, helping me create this show. It's on every other Thursday. It'll be this. When's the next Thursday coming up? Not tomorrow, the one after that. What date is that? Anyone have a calendar?
1, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Next Thursday. Yeah.
Next Thursday.
You know, you two are
We're pretty useless.
We're
Huh?
hilarious.
It's the 9th. It's the 9th.
We never claimed to be calendars.
The next show will be June 9th. June 9th will be the next show.
June 9th.
And it's Hey, I'm Talking Here. And Eric and I will be kicking ass as we usually do. I love the show. It's getting a lot of popularity now. And so how's that, Eric? Are you happy now? And that's the mug. Hey, I'm talking here.
That's the mug that I have that nobody else has.
So what were we going to get into now that you guys wanted to talk about?
Should we? Well, we need to be respectful because we were almost at an hour.
Yeah.
I want to hear what's next, but should we do our normal? Or do you have another question, Michelle? Do you have another
No, let's do this, and then we'll have our little wrap up at the end.
Okay.
So we have more people that were commenting?
No, we have a little thing we do. Isn't that snazzy?
What's that?
Okay.
Okay. Steve, you've said several times this evening that you're 70 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, you look 35, so we need to know what moisturizer you use. Let's
And I
talk.
do. How did you know that?
Because your skin is glowing.
Okay. Could you wait here a minute and I'll go get some of it?
We would
Yes.
love to wait.
Yes.
I've never done this before. Holy shit, I don't believe this.
Go get it. Let's
There's
see.
always first on Chelle Kelle, right, Chelle?
That's right. I can't look. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
just know to look over my shoulder, this shoulder, my right shoulder.
Left shoulder. Okay.
Yeah.
I still can't decide because I've got a new house now, and I can't.
So this is a new background.
Decide where I'm gonna do this from. So,
are you do you have an office or what is that?
I do this. I'm just in the corner of my living room.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
but he's back.
First of all, I take high grade powder vitamins. I've been taking them for over 30 years now. I've been taking vitamins for 45 years, but it's a powder. It's called isotonics. And they're downstairs. I didn't want to go downstairs to get that. So I take that every single morning. Now, this is what I put on my face every.
Wait.
Okay. What is it? Because I can't see.
Something serum. Hydraulic serum.
Hyaluronic serum.
Hyaluronic.
It's not hydraulic.
Hyaluronic, girl. Come on.
It's HYALURONIC. If you did any kind of investigation for your skin, everything that you put on your skin has a little bit of this in it. This is pure with vitamin C and a couple of other stuff. So I put this every other day at night. Every night, always. You know why I do this though? Because when I was younger, I was told by a dermatologist because I had bad skin acne, big time, and the dermatologist told me to go in the sun all the time. What an asshole! I did permanent damage to my skin, where some dermatologists said you might need some kind of surgery at some point. But I went on this regime for 30, 40 years, and I started putting stuff on my face. I had to do it. So now I don't stop doing it. I never go into the sun anymore either. And here's this other thing that people have seen, particle.
Barnacles?
It's called, not particles.
Barnacles?
Particle. It's for men. It's a cream that you put on your face.
Nice.
And I put this on in the morning and every other night I put this on.
Okay, so something's going on every night. You're alternating. Is that right?
Listen, Eric thinks I talk too much all the time.
Oh,
he needs hyaluronic fluid for that yapper that doesn't stop. Hey, they asked me a question and I'm answering.
We did.
So you use hydraulic fluid and barnacle stuff.
Yeah, I believe in putting stuff on your face. If you don't,
good.
Oh yeah, it's your face.
Yeah,
your face.
Exactly. And and people ask me if I had work done. I've never had any kind of work done. No injections.
No, we have been up close and personal with Steve in person. No, he looks good.
He does.
So. All right. Well, that was lightening things a little bit.
Well, that's never going to happen again. I'll tell you that right now.
What would you like to leave us with, Steve? I want
to leave you with this. I want to leave you with, this is not a sales pitch, although it may sound like it, but that's up to you whether you want to believe it or not. My mission for the rest of my life is to get the message out in this book. And I'm just asking you to buy the book. And I will promise you this, because I already know from the reviews that I've gotten from so many people, just go to Amazon and read the 9 reviews that are up there now. And it's only been out in a very short period of time. If you read this book from cover to cover, you will realize how much power you have over every aspect of your life. That's my promise to you. I promise you. And use it as a guide, as a companion. Put it by your nightstand, right next to your bed. Read it a little bit before you go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, and notice the difference. Notice how much better you feel as you're going through your day. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I don't want to put you on the spot, but let's do some sort of contest where they can win a book.
What kind of contest can we do?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. See, you're putting the things on there, right? Thank you. These are the comments on on Amazon. Life
Amazon.
changer.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them
Great.
pretty cool.
Let me see
Right.
how many subscribers we have, because maybe if we bump up our subscription. So, okay, how can we do this? Should have thought of this sooner, I think.
Well, yeah, we'll come up with something, because if you give a number, then
And I've
Come
got
up
this
with
new
some-
phone that I don't
people
know how
can
to use.
Come up
And
with something the next time, and I could send somebody. What are you saying? Like a contest or something?
yeah, something.
just
We're
put
trying to
something
get
in
we're
the
trying to get
comments, pick
subscribers.
someone randomly.
We're trying to get subscribers, but
Yeah, let's just have people put their name in the comments.
okay, put in the comments
we can-
replay or whatever, and I will put everybody's
pick-
name in a hat, and then we'll pick a name.
That's a good idea. That's a
Okay,
great
so
idea.
we'll do this for a week so that we can have our replay people have a chance.
And I'll sign it, and I'll send you a copy. You can send it to and I'll send it to that person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll let you know who.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
Cool.
For
Wait, I have one
$100.
more question though. What's next?
What's
I know
next for me?
the rest of your life is dedicated to getting the word out, but what's
Well,
next?
well, I'm working on something called the Bob Project. There's
Okay.
a project on now, and right now I'm looking for someone. I'm doing an audio tape of the book, and I'm going to be doing Bernie. I could do Bob too, but it's too difficult to do both characters. To go from one voice to the next, it's just too much. I tried it, and I it's really difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for a Bob, and I know Eric. I know he's going to be saying, "I want to be Bob. I want to be Bob." I
He's
think
saying-
he'd be great, Bob, but I'm looking for someone with a deeper voice, like a Morgan Freeman, somebody like that type of voice. So that's the one thing I'm doing, and the other thing I'm doing is that I'm seriously considering creating. As a matter of fact, I'm in the process of doing it. A one-man show, a play. The Word According to Bob, and
I'm so excited
where I came from, where my negative labels came from, a little bit about my family life. It's going to be drop dead funny. You remember the humor I used with you guys when we were in Charlotte?
Yes.
It's going to be that type of humor with the intensity of the message.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to talk about where I came from, my mom and dad, and what all led me from my negative labels to find out where Bob has guided me to go. And that's what the whole thing is going to be.
And that's going to be a winner chicken dinner right there.
Yeah. And you absolutely delivered on that. I didn't know what to expect. I had never seen you on stage before. Mm-hmm. And I knew that you're going to be hilarious. I thought, okay, so how's he going to weave this message in, to this
sales group?
It was, it was marvelous. Really marvelous.
Thank you. I had a great time in Charlotte. I thought the audience was right there. You could tell when you're delivering something to people that they just want to learn. They just want to feel better about themselves. They just want to be able to succeed while enjoying the process. I'll tell you what, if you're succeeding and you're not enjoying the process, you're not succeeding. Mm-hmm. One of the messages I give to my corporate clients, and even if it's all CEOs in the company, I say to them, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many houses you own. Everybody in your inner circle can look at you as the ultimate success story. But here is the bottom line, and only you know this. If you're not happy, you're not successful. Right. And if you're not enjoying yourself during the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you are ripping yourself off. And trust me, there are a lot of people that are willing to do that for you.
Amen.
Yes.
And as Forrest Gump would say, that's all I have to say about that. Lieutenant Dan ice cream.
Oh, we love you, Steve Rizzo.
Oh, Steve, we love you.
Okay.
I'm so grateful that you're my friend. Thank you.
I'm grateful that both of you are my friends, and thank you so much for having me on your show. Let's do it again soon.
Absolutely.
And Eric, looking forward to seeing you next week. Maybe we can talk before then. And I love you guys. You're great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You too. Thanks so much, everybody.
Ruby, I'm going to send you a coloring book.
Oh, yeah. One more thing. If you buy the book, and if you really love it, and I think you will, I know you will, all I ask is to write a review on Amazon. It goes a long way. Again, my goal is just to get the message out to the masses. That's it.
That's perfect.
Take care.
So thank you for our sponsors. We've got Blue Sky Video Productions. We have Goodwin Graphics, who makes these really cool mugs, by the way, and Cards That Wow, which is me. Don't forget to subscribe, to share, and you have a week from tonight, and we will pick a winner, and we'll let the winner know on our next week's show. Who, by the way, we have Caitlin and Tiptoe, the 175-pound tortoise.
Okay.
I know she's TikTok fame. She became famous because of her turtle, but now at 21, she's been diagnosed with what is it?
With autism.
Autism, and so now she's become a spokesperson for autism, and we're really excited to hear what she has to say and her messages. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Steve Rizzo.
Thank you, Steve.
Bye.